Guys, Dandadan is finally here, and with a strange and ultimately amazing first episode full of some incredible animation and top-tier voice acting from Shion Wakayama, Natsuki Hane, and Monkey D. Luffy herself, Mayumi Tanaka as Turbo Granny. And if you didn't know, this anime is actually from Yukinobu Tatsu, who you may or may not know as Tatsuki Fujimoto's assistant for Chainsaw Man Part 1. That's right! Yet another one of Fujimoto's assistants has become another hitmaker with Dandadan. Now, as for the episode itself, it shows off how unique it really is with its blend of comedy, action, and of course, the polymerization of both UFOs and ghosts into one series. So let's dive into the episode, shall we? I'm a partner with GamerSupps. Use code CTACTICS to get 10% off all orders. I personally am rocking the new browser brew that GamerSupps sent me, but I do recommend some Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Synergy and Anime Girl Thighs to celebrate the first episode of Dandadan. So let's go, everyone! First off, I have to say, Dandadan's opening is already iconic and easily one of my favorites this decade, mainly because it throws in a Cowboy Bebop reference, my favorite anime of all time, by the way. Beyond that, the visuals from Wincy and Swaru are just mind-blowing. They're so creative and dynamic and blending ultra-realism with this cartoon-like bounciness to them, kind of like Gear 5th Luffy. I hope someone in the comments can explain it better than I could here, but oh, and seriously, by the way, the characters' teeth, I mean, they may be using the best toothpaste out there. They all look flawless, like they're using some of Abiko Sensei's techniques from Oshinoko. But after the opening, however, we are introduced to Momo Ayase, our main character, and a Gyaru, and she's sort of similar to other girls in high school and is dealing with her first boyfriend who was, let's just say, way too pushy on her, and so she decides to kick him upside the head for, his efforts. Yeah, Momo isn't some helpless little girl in the show. Instead, Momo is brash, maybe a bit abrasive, and that not only shows in how much she acts, but is beautifully conveyed in her voice actress, Shion Wakayama, who embodies Momo pretty much perfectly to me. While in class, Momo is crying over her breakup with her first boyfriend, and honestly good riddance, and her friends encourage her to steer clear of him. But this is where we learn something fun. Momo has a massive crush on Ken Takakura, and no, this isn't some made-up anime celebrity, he's actually a real person. According to Wikipedia, Ken Takakura was a legendary Japanese actor and singer, appearing in over 200 films, known for his brooding style and stoic presence. He actually won the Japan Academy Prize for Best Actor 4 times, and even received prestigious awards like the Medal of Honor and Order of Culture. At least that's, what Wikipedia tells me. I hope it's true. But simply put, Ken Takakura was a massive cultural icon in Japan. Though he may have passed away in 2014 at the age of 83, Momo was still on the hunt for a man who embodies his strong masculine energy. Her friends, however, hilariously point out that men like him just don't exist anymore, and throwing in a bit of social commentary, which Dandadan occasionally dabbles in. It's a funny moment that highlights just how much the world has shifted since the days of Ken Takakura's era in Momo's eyes. So Momo, frustrated with being single, strides through the school halls with an open gate as she spots a boy getting bullied, and despite her popularity, she steps in by casually sitting at his desk, which instantly stops the bullying. This moment, I think, really highlighted what I love most about Momo. She stands up for anyone being mistreated, regardless of their status. It shows her maturity, and that, while she's a Gyaru, she kind of defies the typical trope by having real morals and beliefs beyond the flashy exterior. Later, as she continues walking with that open gate, oh god, I love it, the same boy awkwardly tries to get her attention, thinking she must be in love with him for sitting at his desk, and it's just a funny, humorous moment. Kind of reminds me of those high school days when any small interaction with anyone of the opposite sex felt like a love confession. I mean, his innocent assumptions just made me chuckle so much. It's just so relatable. But Momo initially kind of brushes him off, actually, especially when he brings up UFOs, which she quickly denies believing in. And I got a kick out of the cheap magazine he holds up too, a knockoff version of something that, by the way, in the manga was actually Barack Obama, but in the anime was changed to be Orange Man. But oh my god, the boy voiced by the way, the fantastic Natsuki Hane, aka Dandadan, starts getting on Momo's nerves, prompting her to snap and call him an annoying otaku with no friends. And those were some harsh words, and you can see it really hit him pretty hard. Momo could see it too, so immediately, feeling bad, Momo apologizes, picks up his magazine, dusts it off, and hands it back to him, meeting him halfway by admitting she believes in ghosts instead of UFOs. And ironically, the boy starts to laugh at her, saying that ghosts don't exist, silly, which just cracks Momo's brain as she starts to scream at him. Once again, Shion Wakayama, oh my god, perfect Momo. They immediately start bickering like an old married couple too, much to the delight of Momo's friends who quickly start to ship them. It's just a really nice and hilarious sort of heartwarming moment between the two, and also, yeah, I ship them too, goddammit. Momo then makes a challenge. If the boy can't prove that ghosts are real, he has to be Momo's gopher, and vice versa if he succeeds. And they head to the creepy abandoned Nagi General Hospital, and the atmosphere is spot on eerie. As they explore, they kind of bond over their favorite hobbies, with the boy even mentioning being abducted and like some regressive hypnosis stuff. And there's a, by the way, a blink and you'll miss it moment where a figure moves in the background. Great detail by Wincy and Swaru. But Momo sends the boy to a spiritual hotspot, and his reaction is priceless. He's all like, nervously exclaims, but Momo teases him, reminding him that loud voices attract spirits, to which he still responds, too shy, shy boy, but he does it in a lower voice. And the funny part, though, is when Momo points out that he's never actually seen a ghost, like just how he's never seen a UAP, and that's, yeah, they never have. He calls it weird, but Momo reveals that, in a twist, that her grandmother was actually, and is, I guess, should say, is a spirit medium, and oh, I wonder who this grandma could be, right? You guys already know. But the mood shifts as Momo opens up, telling the boy that her grandmother is her only family since she doesn't have parents, and that shows a more vulnerable side to her sort of tough exterior, which I really appreciated. We essentially learn that Momo's life has always been tough, even from a young age. She had to perform rituals on her way to school to ward off spirits, which made her the target of teasing from all of the boys. And the worst part was when the boy she liked joined in on the ridicule. This strained her relationship with her grandmother, leading Momo to admit that, for a time, she hated her, and she even told her that to her face. And because of this, the two didn't speak for a very long time. Despite everything, Momo fiercely defended her family, especially getting angry when anyone disrespected her grandmother over time, because Momo came to realize that it wasn't her grandmother that she hated. The hate came from the fact that she hated that the boy mocked her grandmother, and in truth, she actually loved her grandmother and admired her work as a spirit medium, seeing it as something that made them special. She now respects her mother and the unique role that she played in raising her, and this faith in her grandmother also solidified her belief in spirits too. And in contrast, the boy, he's much more reserved about why he became interested in UAPs, but we'll get to that. As he makes his way through the tunnel, the boy spots blood-red footprints, and oh, this scene is so good, you guys, and encounters an old lady voiced by none other, as I said at the very beginning, Mayumi Tanaka, the voice of Monkey D. Luffy, known as the infamous Turbo Granny, the fastest old lady in the world. And she creepily offers to suckle on her teats in exchange for eating his junk. Now, things only get worse as Momo explains the Turbo Granny legend. If he loses a race against her, he will be cursed. And this chase, guys, holy crap, it was stunning. With the tunnel turning blood red and it just seemingly was endless. The animation was flawless with art design that truly delivers what Dandadan fans have been waiting for, which is, well, this. And even Momo's phone screen casts like this eerie red glow on her face, adding to the tension, and just really looked awesome. Meanwhile, Momo faces her own crisis when she's abducted by strange alien-looking men, Serpoians from planet Serpo. Now, their mission? It's a little creepy, to harvest the organs of humans to gain the ability to reproduce naturally instead of cloning. So Momo becoming their target as they attempt to steal her banana organs. The scene kind of starts to take a bizarre and psychedelic turn as Serpoians use psychokinesis to kind of arouse Momo, but the tension is hilariously interrupted by a phone call, and the boy, now cursed by Turbo Granny, kicks his way through the phone into the hospital and bites off the alien's junk as he lets out a Then the battle of the century kind of kicks off here. Alien versus Ghost. Who wins? We do, my friend. This fight was incredible with smooth action sequences, some really good lighting, by the way, and voice actors just giving their absolute best, doing some God's work here. Woo! But more than the action itself, this is a pivotal moment for the boy. Not only was his beliefs proven in this moment, but he's determined to protect Momo at all costs. And Momo, seeing his resolve and how manly it is, cheers him on to just show how much of a real man he is, calling back to her earlier statement about how manly men don't exist. Turns out they do. Momo just didn't really understand what a real man was before. We then flash back to a memory of Momo and her grandmother in an emotional moment. Momo recalls how she once resented the techniques her grandmother taught her, thinking they made her a target for ridicule. But now that very same technique is saving her. Breaking free from her restraints, she has a character-defining moment, in my opinion, and all it took was belief for both her and the boy to be saved by, ironically, her grandmother that she hated before. So now, fully embracing her grandmother's teachings, Momo realizes that she was indeed a true spirit medium and never lied once to her. With all of her pent-up rage from years of rejection and from years of rejecting her grandmother, Momo unleashes a powerful kick on Serpo, sending him crashing through a wall and rocketing to the sky where he collides with the moon, revealed to be a UAP, a flying saucer. What a awesome twist! Then, the boy loses control and begins to pin Momo down, but once again, Momo channels her spirit technique, and she expels Turbo Granny from the boy, but the curse lingers as Turbo Granny warns them that as long as she has his junk, he will remain cursed forever, pretty much. The UAP then crashes into the ground, and Momo, being the badass that she is, kicks her way out of the saucer just as it collides with the earth, and after everything, both she and the boy are left in disbelief. Proven wrong and right at the same time. Ghosts and UAPs are real, and now both of them have to be gophers to each other. Momo then explains that the only way to break the curse is by defeating Turbo Granny. So in response, the boy strips down to his underwear and gives his clothes to Momo, saying that she shouldn't stay stuck in her current state. But the twist is, the boy actually needs Momo to keep him in human form, so his plan is to go back alone and fight Turbo Granny and just try to win on sheer willpower alone, I guess. So Momo, sensing how much he's struggling and really seeing it, refuses to actually let him go through with this alone. So in this heartfelt moment, she asks why can't she help him? And the boy's reply, oh, it's so sad, man. Is it okay for someone like me to get help from someone like you? And that reveals so much. It's a painful moment for him, showing how fragile he is as a person and how much rejection that he's faced, believing at this point he's unworthy of help from other people. How could Momo not step in after hearing something like that? So having been in a similar place herself, she insists on putting his clothes back on for him, a sweet and touching gesture that shows their bond is already growing. And the butt kick at the end, absolutely heartwarming, and kind of an admission by her saying that, hey, this is all water under the bridge and we're in this together. But the boy, who's very awkward and shy, asks her to wear the clothes because seeing her naked would only make things more uncomfortable for him, of course. And this makes Momo's heart race because the boy just inadvertently quoted Ken Takakura, her crush. Oh, and by the way, the boy's name, naturally, it's Ken Takakura. The saucer then explodes as he reveals his name, and Momo's life kind of explodes in the process too, ending the episode, but not before that awesome ED featuring a certain cat doll in all of its glory. Oh my god. Guys, it has been the honor of my life to cover this first episode of Dandadan today, and I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I did. I hope this series is something special for me, for you, and for us, my viewers and community. So let's make this one a big one. Let's get this video to 300 likes. If you want to see me cover new chapters of Dandadan and you're caught up to the series and you want more from me, then go check out my second channel where I cover new chapters of Dandadan along with Kagurabachi every Sunday and Monday. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye-bye.